You guys, I'm $15,000 in student loan debt for a degree I didn't even choose for myself. Let's talk about it. Hi you guys, it's Riri or Rihanna. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna tell y'all the story time of how I got the degree I never wanted. For context, I am a human ecology major. I know, what is that? Girl, I can't even tell you. I really wish I could. But let's get into it. So for background information, I graduated class of 2020 from high school. Graduating high school, I came out with an associate's in computer information technology, which also meant in the state of Texas, I already had 60 college credit hours. Okay, cool. But like, take into more context, I said in the state of Texas, which means if I went out of state for school, LSU was like, I think my only exception. If I went out of state, that means all the credits that I worked for in high school would not have counted. So I was like, dang, like I'm kind of stuck in Texas, but it's cool. Like,
I'm sorry, I'm sick, but it's cool.
I would just stick with the options I have down here. So I applied to many of schools, got into other schools for like, what is it called, for track and field, because I was also a student athlete. But then I decided to choose this one particular school. Now for legal reasons, just in case, I'm not going to mention the school, but if y'all watch my videos, y'all could put two and two together. And knowing that, mind you, like I said before, I graduated with an associate's in computer information technology, which naturally meant that I wanted to go into my university with a major in comp sci, aka computer science. While I was applying for this school, I'm not gonna lie, I honestly did not know what I wanted to do besides computer science. For the first option of a major that I wanted to pick, my first option was computer science, and then it said pick a second major. I just put undeclared, not thinking much of it, because I was thinking there's no way I'm not gonna get into computer information technology when they see my credits and all that I've done, like for comp sci already. Like, there's no way the school was going to deny me. Okay, so mind you, I did early admission, so that means I got early decisions. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna choose this school, whatever, not even knowing that I did not get into the school yet. I didn't find out I didn't get into comp sci until legit, I think the month before. It was like freshman orientation where you meet your advisor, set up classes, do all this stuff. Yeah, a month before that, I saw that I didn't get into computer science. So I said, okay, well, I guess I'm going to be undeclared. Once again, not thinking much of it, because I was thinking, oh, as soon as I get to my school, I could change majors, okay? So that's what I was thinking going into my freshman year. After this, I started my freshman year. Freshman year for me was kind of interesting because, like I said, graduated high school 2020. In case you guys don't know, which I wouldn't know how you wouldn't know, but it was around COVID time. So I started off freshman year as a COVID kid. So I did everything virtually. I met with my advisors virtually. I did classes virtually. I couldn't even visit the school, like do a tour or anything, because it was the height of COVID. So they cut off all tours. I couldn't even tour the campus that I was going to. I legit did a virtual tour of my campus. This is important because this next detail, when I was meeting my advisor and, you know, explaining to him my situation, like, yes, I already have my associates, this, that, and third, what can I do? He legit said, oh, I can't help you because, yes, you have all these credits, but according to this school's terms, you have to have 24 credit hours before you could transfer into another major. This is the issue with that. To graduate, I don't know, I think any university, but this university specifically, all you need is 120 credit hours. You guys, I'm already coming in with 60 credit hours. You add 24 to that, that's 84 credits. To put more context, that means I would have been a junior and I need to graduate. A junior in credit terms. Now, in actual terms, if we're talking like I didn't have any credits, I would have been a sophomore. They're saying I wouldn't have been able to transfer into another school until the end of my sophomore year. So already, I put in my head, I said, well, Rihanna, you're not graduating early. Cool, at least not in the next 2 years, maybe 3. We could try 3, but not 2. So I said, okay, what can I do now? They said, well, take your core classes, which I did, and try to implement some computer science classes so when you do transfer, you could easily knock out the rest of the courses. Okay, good, sounds good. So I did that. Freshman year and sophomore year. I finally get on campus sophomore year. So, the end of sophomore year came. I'm not gonna lie, was my grades the best? No, I wasn't no dean scholar. If that's what you're asking, I wasn't no dean scholar, but I wasn't getting all F's or B's either. It was more like maybe 1 A here, couple of B's, a few C's. But it was like, how do I say this? It was average college grades. Like, I don't know. It was alright. But once again, I'm not thinking much of it. I said, okay, I'm going to transfer into the school, okay? Mind you, this process at this school, when you try to apply to transfer, it's like you're applying to the college all over again or to the school all over again. It's a whole process. Just because you apply for the major doesn't mean you're going to get the major. So once again, what did I do? I tried to apply for computer science, and my second backup was undeclared under the School of Science. I'm telling you, it was a whole process. Once again, it felt like I was applying to the school all over again. I'm like, I'm not stressing, I'm not worried. I did what I had to do. I got average grades, but there's no way they're gonna deny me again of this major. Like, there's just no way. Sophomore year, summer comes in. I finished applying in, I think, April. I get it again. They said denied from computer science. Now I'm going into junior year once again with no major. Like I said before, I came in with 60 credits. By this time, yeah, they said 24 credit hours at minimum, but I had so many credits. I think at this point I was maybe, I'm not gonna say hundreds, but I was no, I might have been in the hundreds, yes, because I took summer classes both summers. So I was going into junior year with almost, if not 100 credits, which means after this one semester, technically I should have been graduating.
Unacceptable! Unacceptable!
So after that, I was, I'm not gonna lie, I was heartbroken. I told my mother what was going on because she was like, oh, like, do you have a major, whatever, like, I'm just updating her on what's going on. I also told one of my friends, she was like trying to help me out. She was like, there's other options besides computer science, because at this point I'm telling her, like, I give up. Like, I tried twice. I know third time's not gonna be the charm. Their classes is stressing me out anyway. I also had PTSD from like a TA, like, just talking to me crazy. So I said, you know what, maybe God is trying to tell me computer science is not for me. What are my other options? My friend was saying, she's like, oh, why don't you go get into UX design? And she was like, just do your own research on that. Cool. She sent me the link of the School of Informatics. I looked up the UX design. I looked up what their career is, what I have to do. I was actually interested because I think it was combining two things that I really do like to do: design and computers. So I said, okay, perfect. Like, okay, I'm gonna start this process. I went as far as talking to those who were already in the UX design chat. I talked to the advisor, and what else? I even like attended seminars for this school, because it was a brand new school at the time. So I'm telling the advisor like everything that's going on. Not my advisor, but the informatics advisor, and he said, yeah, like, you're good, like, okay, I see your grades, but I promise you, if you sign up for all these UX design classes and ace it, I don't see how you won't get in. And I'm telling you, I'm not telling you, I'm telling him, I said, are you sure that if I do all of this, do all these classes, that there's a high chance I will get in, because I don't want to waste my time? And I told him my situation. I said, I'm a junior going into my senior year. I'm going to be a senior, and I still don't have a major. So I need you to be real with me. Be completely real. Is this gonna work out? He said, yeah, like, I don't see how it won't. And then he's like also telling me like, hey, like, talk to this person, do this, and I promise you there's no way you're not going to get in. All right, cool. I did it. I'm taking these classes. When I'm telling you, it was like a complete flip around. So I said, okay, like, God, I think I'm finally in the right direction. Like, I'm actually happy. I'm like, yes, like, I'm passing all my class with A's, like, flying colors. I think this was the first time, like, I actually was doing a good job. It was to the point where me and my actual advisor met up, and he was looking at my grades like, whoa, like, you're doing so good, blah, 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 blah. And I'm talking to him with confidence. I said, yeah, like, I know I'm senior years next year, so, I'm just hoping I'm going to take maybe like a semester or a full year, and I'll be done, graduate on time with I'm going to transfer into the School of Informatics, and I'm going to have a concentration in UX design. Like, there's no way. And he's also hyping me up too, because he's like, oh, like, your grades are good, but you've been doing what you have to do. You've been what is it called? Talking, showing face, networking. You've been networking with the School of Informatics. There's no way you're not going to get in. Cool. So I'm going into this already like, this is already mine. Like, this is going to be easy breezy. Once again, I apply, write my essay, do what I have to do. I send it off. Y'all wouldn't believe it. Actually, you would, because I told you what my major was in the beginning. I get denied again.
I'm trying to be cool, but goddamn.
At this point, full mental breakdown. Full mental breakdown, because you could only imagine, okay, with computer science, you already did it the wrong way. Cool, we accepted our fate there. But informatics, when I tell you, I went from a CB student to all A's, flying colors, y'all. Network, did everything I could do. Mind you, this is my junior year going into my senior year. By junior year, everybody has a major. But me. At this point, I've been classified by credit as a senior for 1.5 years now. And I'm still stuck. So my mama, she sees me, and she sees that, like, at this point, I'm curled up in a ball, full tears, computer, laptop open. So she sees, and she's like, Rihanna, what's going on? I explain everything how I just did to y'all. I explained it to her, and I explained the whole process too, and because she wasn't understanding. Because a little fact, this school and maybe I think 5 others in the whole entire country do this process where if you transfer to another major, it's like transferring to another school. And they do this so that you won't switch majors as often or graduate on time. Like, they don't want you to switch majors. But it's difficult for students like me that comes in with 60 credit hours already. undeclared, right? And already started with no major, and now it's just like, okay, I'm gonna try to transfer, and you can't. You get denied twice, and now I'm technically a super senior. So I'm bawling my eyes out, and my mom was like, okay, you know what, enough is enough. I'm finna intervene now, because you tried your way. You've tried twice now. Matter of fact, really 3 times. We gonna pull up to the school. I said, what? She said, I need you to email everybody right now. The highest dean, the dean of students, the dean of your school, the dean of their school, both advisors. Put everybody in one mass email and email them exactly how you feel and that you're coming up to that school tomorrow, and we gonna find a resolution. Mind you, it's summertime. I know most of these advisors, they're gonna be busy with the incoming kids. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. But you know what? I'm gonna listen to my mama, because I'm more scared of my mama than this school. So I do exactly as such. And she said, okay, no worries. We're gonna drive up to that school tomorrow. Mind y'all, this is crazy, just a little bit. I knew my mama was mad because she was willing to drive 3 hours there and 3 hours back, because that's how far my school is from my hometown. So okay, I'm packing up. I emailed them, sent it off, packed up for the day. Cool. I wake up, I can't make this up, 6 a.m. in the morning, so we could get on campus by 9 a.m. At this point, we get there. Mind you, my mama at the time just undergo knee surgery. So like, or she was supposed to, or something. Something was going on with her knee. So her knee's not as good as it should be. When I tell you, she is walking around this campus like ain't nothing wrong with her knee. We parked the car. She marched straight to student affairs. I said, Mama, I'm not gonna lie to you. Student affairs can't do anything about this, because they're more about like, they organize organizations or student organizations on campus. They can't help you. She was like, still, like, we're gonna talk to somebody right now, because the way I'm feeling, be lucky I'm not at President blank right now. I said, okay, cool. We go there. She is raising hell, but in the most respectful way possible. She's saying, you know, that's not fair. Y'all treat her like she's just a number on this campus. Y'all lucky. I should really go to the news media today. This is ridiculous. This is her whole story, like just telling them everything. And I'm just standing there like, in the back of my head, I'm already knowing this is not helping anything. And so she's like, I need to know where this president of this school is and this president of this school is immediately. They actually helped her out on that part. So, okay, we marched down, I think, to the School of Informatics. Now she looking. She in every hallway, like looking around like, where's these people? Where's these people? The president of School of Informatics was not there for whatever reason. Don't know. So she's like, okay, don't worry about that. We going to the School of Science. She went up in there. Same thing. The president not there. She was like, but she could talk to the vice president. She was like, no. I want to speak to the president. They was like, oh, well, she's not going to. Okay, then we don't need to be talking. Next, we're going to the advisor. So we went to my advisor. At this point, I feel bad because at the end of the day, I know it wasn't my advisor's fault. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. Let me explain. It was more of the other advisor, like putting false hope in my head and thinking, oh yeah, there's no way you're going to get denied. Blah, blah, blah. Just to tell me that there were only 18 spots and only over 200 people applied and there were only 18 spots. I said, if I knew it from the jump that it was that competitive, why would you, and you knew it was that competitive, why would you tell me to sign up for all these informatics classes? Now I just have credits on top of credits on top of credits that don't count for anything. At this point, I think I had 180 credits. But we may proceed, yes indeed. So at this point we get to my advisor office, and yes, I kind of feel bad for him because it wasn't his fault. He genuinely thought it was going to work out for me too, because we are both under the false pretense, because I'm telling him everything that the other advisor said. And he was like, yeah, like I saw the other email and I know like you're frustrated and it wasn't right, but that, like, I don't know how we got here. And I was like, I don't know how we got here either, but we need to get something resolved. And I was telling him, because I'm about to be a senior with no major, I don't want to be here longer than I am. And the thing is, he has all my information pulled up. He has all my classes, what I've done, how completed I am in different degrees, all my grades. So he sees everything. And I'm like, I'm legit saying, like, I'm telling him my story and he's also seeing it and he's like, yeah, like, this is bad. So I'm like, what could we do now? He said, you know, I'm kind of busy with the freshmen right now, but I will try to come up with a plan. Y'all meet me again tomorrow. I said, okay. You guys, we ate first. We ate in Austin and we drove all the way back to my hometown. So now I'm like, I'm still devastated. Definitely still devastated. I didn't cry, but I was still very much upset. And my mom was like, oh my gosh, like, why are you crying still? Like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'm not crying because I'm sad. I feel like I'm over that from yesterday. I'm crying because I'm tired and I'm frustrated. Like, I feel like I've done everything I could. Like, everything I could. Like, I could not give any more than I already have to this campus, yet still I am here and this is still not working. Like, what's going on? I'm like, Mom, am I the problem? Like, this school legit messed me up mentally. And it wasn't, I feel like this was just the cherry on top. There's so many other situations where this school made me feel unwanted, unsafe, and really question myself. Like, I think this school really broke me down so bad, like mentally, physically, and spiritually. Like, I was over it. Like, I went down a sunken place, to be honest. It was so dark. Like, I didn't want to talk to nobody. I was eating because of so many other situations, and this, by the time I got to this, I was so just over it. I was tired. I couldn't even, and you know what made me upset? And I know you guys are also wondering, like, why didn't you transfer? Why didn't you transfer? Why didn't you transfer? Because I think sophomore year, the first time I did get denied, I was like, okay, well, it's kind of too late to transfer, because if I transfer anywhere else, I'd be considered, I think, a rising junior. Yeah, because a lot of the credits wouldn't have count. So I was like, okay, well, junior year, it has to be different. It wasn't different. So by the time I got to this point, I was supposed to be a senior. There was no way I was transferring out of this school. There was just no way, because I'm already a senior. Because even my mom was like, why don't you just go to the school down the street? And I said, no, I've already put 3 years here. It wouldn't make sense. In my head, it just wouldn't make sense to transfer. Anyway, so yeah, I was crying, frustrated, just thinking about all of this. But now he emailed me, my advisor, a time to meet him the next day. Once again, here we are, 6 a.m. in the morning in traffic. I did show up a little late, but that wasn't my fault. Like, the traffic was just seriously bad, and I made sure to email him while I was on the road, like, hey, like, we're gonna be running a little bit late, but promise we're still showing up. We got there, we sat down, my mom's there. He's telling me, like, you know, based off of these laws, are you sure it's okay to discuss any of this with my mom? I know what I got going on, so I was like, go for it. Like, I don't care at this point. And so he's telling me everything that I already know, and then he says, well, now you have 2 options. You can be a math major, because you guys, I had so many credits in math that I think all I needed was 5 more courses, and I could have graduated as a math major, or I could get a human ecology major. But this was the problem with math. Math, it was a gamble, because there was one class that I had to pass if I wanted to be a math major, which was probability. And I'm not gonna lie, I sucked at it. I don't know what was going on. I think, and with both classes, the homework was 1 + 1 = 2. And then by the time we got to the homework, we're trying to solve MC squared. And I'm just like, what, like, when did this become rocket science? So this was going to be my 3rd time taking this class, and if I did not pass, I would not graduate, and I did not want to take that risk. Not only that, if I did math, only certain courses are available at certain times, which means I wouldn't have graduated 2024 spring. I would have graduated fall of 2024. I did not want to spend another day, breath, none of that. I did not want to be nowhere near this school after I graduated. So I said, math is not gonna work. So then he said, oh, and then there's also human ecology. And I'm just looking at my mom, I'm like, what the hell is human ecology? And I was like, is that my only 2 options? And he said, I mean, if you're trying to graduate in 2024, yeah. Now I'm damn near, like, my tears are like filling my eyes, because first of all, what is human ecology? To this day, I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know at the same time. Like, I couldn't explain it to you. Like, if I could explain it to someone who don't pass the major, but if somebody else told me, oh yeah, I'm a human ecology major too, what do you think it is? I don't know. That's my genuine question. I don't know. And at this time, you know, my mom, she sees that I'm upset, and my advisor sees I'm upset, and they're both like, well, it doesn't matter what major you are, you know, we offer certificates, like, I promise you it's gonna be okay. And my mom was like, yeah, like, look at me, like, I said, you don't count, because you definitely use your major. Like, you were a biology major, now you're a biology teacher, like, you use it. And he's like, well, like, a lot of people, you'll be surprised they don't use their major. I'm like, still, like, I'm not gonna be happy, especially my last year. Like, I'm studying classes that I don't like, which ended up kind of being false. Like, I did take some fashion classes, but still, it was just the point of, I don't even know what human ecology is. And this is the point where I'm supposed to be getting a full-time position. I already wasted so many years. Like, I was more focused on trying to transfer and get applications out that I didn't even, and once again, I'm not blaming them, I'm blaming myself for this part, but I didn't even apply to internships and stuff like that. Well, I did, but because I didn't have a because I had an undeclared major and not a UX design major, I couldn't even get the jobs, like internships, that I did want. So now I'm internshipless, so I have no experience, no internships, have a major that I don't even know what it's about, what jobs I could get with it, and I'm gonna graduate and have no idea where I'm gonna work next. Like, at this point, I spiraled out. I'm not gonna lie. I sucked it up, chose human ecology, updated one of my friends and my sister. Both of them were like, what even is that? I'm like, I don't even know my dang self. I'm over here researching, and they both said that major sounds like BS. And I said, oh, okay, well, this is my major now. This is my major now, unless I'm trying to be at the school for 1,000 more years, which that's not an option for me. That's what happened. I legit, I'm not gonna lie, especially the first semester, I was really sad. But then I did eventually, I guess by the second semester, I was just happy to graduate. Yeah, at the end of the day, I did graduate. with a degree in human ecology, a minor in management information systems, which none of those courses in my minor I took there. That was all based off the credits that I took in high school. So, and then I got a certificate in UX design. Funny story, present day now, I did graduate 2024 on time. Present day now, still unemployed. Not using my degree at all. I tried using my UX design certificates. That did not work, clearly. And management information systems, I hate dealing with data, so I knew that wasn't going to get used either. And yeah, now we're just here and stuck between a rock and a hard place. Moral of the story: research the school you're going to, the major, different processes, everything. Don't just choose your school because honestly, I can't even tell you why I chose that school. If I'm being completely honest with myself, I think I only chose that school because my mom was so excited. Before I even chose what school I was going to, she chose for me. She already had shirts, a cup. Like, imagine she's gifting me presents for, what birthday was that? It was my 17th birthday? Yeah, because I turned 17 senior year. She's gifted me, 17-year-old me, a whole big old blanket. Like, she basically said, yeah, you're going to this school before I even said anything. Imagine she got me all of this school stuff, and then I pick a whole completely other school. Now I look stupid with all this school merch. And I'll go to a whole different school. So I'm gonna be honest, I literally just picked that school because of my mom, and if it was up to me, if I could rewind time, I would have picked one of the schools that I got a track scholarship for. Because yes, every school have its quorums, but I don't think I would have been this stressed out. I think it was one of those 7 days or 40 years, and I picked 40 years. And when I tell you, so many trials and tribulations, but I think that was all necessary to happen, because now I'm so close to God now. Like, God is my boy, my number one, my right hand man, because I would not have made it out that school mentally okay if it wasn't for him. So yeah, moral of the story: research your school, your major, transfers, all of that. Research. Those advisors at your school, they don't work for you, they work for the school. Remember that. They do not have your best interest at heart. I'm sorry, that's true. They work for the school. They're there to make sure that you get in and out in 4 years. That's it. And last but not least, God, Jesus. You need God in all of this. Be close to God, especially in college. That's my best advice. Because when I tell you, there was so many other situations at the school that, which maybe I will tell a story on one day. Yeah, if you guys made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this helped you guys in your college decision, or like not feel alone. If you have a similar story, please let me know down below. I would love to hear that I'm not by myself or my lonesome with this, because I think I'm probably the only person in this unique situation. Yeah, because this was definitely unique. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, my loves.